I don't feel like I've got anything to prove. To follow in the footsteps of one of the greatest fighters that only comes around once in 100 years, it's quite tough. And when you've worked so hard all your life and you constantly believe in yourself, I feel like you can achieve absolutely anything.
The last 3 rounds were turbulent and unbelievably violent. Mike Tyson has won it!
I had a great upbringing, you know, it was very different, you know, going to school and stuff like that. I left school like a bit earlier than everybody else. I just knew that I was going to be different. I never was like spoilt as a child, rotten, you know, I never wanted for anything, but there's a difference between having that and then being spoilt. And it just made you appreciate everything when you got it. Just seeing my dad in the garage really, you know, banging away on the bag and kind of opening the door and looking in, and it sort of led for me going in there, maybe holding the time for him, just watching, you know, a few weeks of that, and then it went from me going on runs with him, you know, running by myself, you know, being 8 and 9, I used to go for a run, a 3-mile run, I used to come home, I used to go on the bag just like my dad, you know, I used to do exactly what he did. You know, everybody in our family's boxed, you know, normal people will go around and kick a football on the field or, you know, I don't know, play a game of rugby, we just get the gloves on and have a fight and that's it. We all used to train at a gym in Warrington. That was where it all first really started. The gym was on a site, we used to go there, we used to train every single day of the week, and it was good, you know, it was good memories that I'll always keep with me. We was in the gym in Bolton, I was around about, you know, from 14 to 17 or something like that, and Tyson's sparring partners were always coming in, obviously big heavyweights, and at the time there was no, you know, light heavyweights, middleweights in the gym, there was only heavyweights, so you know, I had to get in there, you know, I couldn't say no, it was either come and hit the bag all day or get in the ring and spar these big heavyweights, so obviously I jumped straight in, and I was like 11 stone getting in the ring with 6'7", 6'8" men who were about 19, 20 stone, and believe you now, many people might not believe it, but they wasn't holding anything back, you know, my dad used to tell them every single time when you go in there, try and knock him out, so that was the sort of pressure I had to deal with, but having that from an early age stood me in good stead, so you know, I wouldn't change a single thing. But I always knew that this is what I wanted to do. You know, I wasn't going to go around shouting it, you know, saying, oh, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. I just did my own thing, nice and quietly, worked away. And then when the time come, the time come. And then one day, you know, it was coming up to my professional debut at Ricky Hatton's gym. And Ricky did an interview saying, you know, he doesn't look like Hughie or Tyson, he looks like he's just come off Love Island. And at the time, I didn't know what that was because I'd never watched Love Island at all, I didn't know what it was. And then, you know, like a week or two later, I got a call after training. You know, they called the office at the gym and they come in the change room and said, ITV are on the phone, they want to speak to you. And I was like, okay, a bit odd. So then I got on the phone and he was like, oh, hi Tommy, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we'd love to have you on board for 2019 series of Love Island if you'd like to. And they said, okay, take a look at last year's season and give us a call back. So that's exactly what I'd done. I watched it, I thought, do you know what, 8 weeks in the sun, beautiful girls, getting a tan, I can't go wrong, you know, I've got no fights coming up, so I thought, yeah, go on, I did it. I mean, the rest is history, and I always say it's literally like a Cinderella story because I've gone from having nothing to, in the space of 2 years, having, you know, in my eyes, everything, because I'm healthy, I'm fit, I've got to pay my own bills, I have a roof over my head, and that's everything to me. And I looked at myself, you know, I think it was 2 months after leaving Love Island, you know, I was doing all these PAs, you know, getting paid every night to go to a club and do some pictures. And I thought to myself, you know, is this the life that I really want? You know, is this for me? Not really. It didn't really tickle my taste buds. I thought, I don't want to be drinking every night and taking pictures and be washed up in 2 years. You know, I want to be a world champion, and that I never took my eye off that goal. You know, I've definitely earned my right to be here, because when I think about how much time I've put into this and how much dedication it's been, you know, I'm very grateful for what I have in life. In terms of goals, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. You know, this is like you said, just the start of it. You know, by the time 27, 28, I want to be a world champion and, you know, be remembered. I want to go down in history. I don't want to be some guy who went on Love Island, you know, had a good few years run, got a bit of money, and that was him. I want to accomplish my dreams and being a world champion, go down in history, and then I can sit back in the rocking chair when I'm 80 years old and be like, do you know what? I had a great life. I achieved what I set out to do, and that's it.
I'm gonna text you the address. We're chilling. It's just a little kickback. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing. Summertime weather, fantastic. Kickback. I'ma crack another cold one. Barbecue chicken almost done. Kickback. Hey, all the shorties came through and my friends came too. It's a vibe at the kickback. Yeah, and we live from the kickback. What's up? What's up?